Good evening, Mr. Rayer. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is R.S.N. Rayer, and I'm now contesting for the Sri Dilima state seat. Sorry, N32 in Penang.
Can we know why the sudden interest in politics?
I've always had interest in politics since my school-going days, and this interest in politics became even more compounded, stronger when I pursued my law studies and I eventually became a lawyer. And I think politics is about basically not just politics, but also involves the commitment to strive and provide a better form of living for all. In Malaysia in particular, a better form of living for all Malaysians. And I think my interest in politics is made even more stronger because of my involvement in the Democratic Action Party, which talks about the Malaysia for all races.
Can you explain further in the sense of what about in your daily working life when you come across the public, right? So what kind of help have you done so far?
Well, I've assisted numerous clients who have wanted ad hoc legal representation on pro bono basis, particularly people who can't pay. Like for example, there have been many occasions where I've gone to court and people have actually requested me to plea bargain for them and mitigate for offences. There was an instance of this lady who was arrested for shoplifting, my first experience, charged in court for shoplifting, and I was in court and I saw that she was not represented. Well, I stood up, addressed the court, asked the court to basically give her a very lenient sentence because she was a first offender and because the nature of the offence involved shoplifting basic necessities. She was charged for stealing a tin of Milo, some biscuits, some bread and butter. And the court in fact granted her a bound over. So that basically prompted me to further involve myself in not only legal work but other forms of social service as well.
Is she a Chinese, Indian or a Malay?
I think doesn't matter. I mean, we do not want to refer to any particular races, but in my experience, as far as the party is concerned, as a lawyer for the Democratic Action Party, I've offered my services for all races, Malay, Indian, Chinese and other races as well, because the party's motto is to strive and assist each and every race in this country so that we all live equally side by side. Yeah.
Okay, then what are the plans that you have for the public of Sri Dilima if you become the adun of Sri Dilima?
Well, first of all, there are certain very pressing needs for the residents of Sri Dilima, in particular the immediate presence of a police pondok to be located in at least 3 locations in Sri Dilima. One in Island Glades, one in Island Park and the other in the Bukit Gelugo area, because of the increase in the number of petty crimes committed around this area. For example, snatch thefts, house break-ins, as well as cases involving thefts of vehicles and also the radio equipment from cars parked along the road. The other, of course, pressing need would be rather the setting up of a volunteer ambulance service for the Bukit Gelugo and Sri Dilima area in particular, and also the setting up of a fire brigade possibly by the Jabatan Bomba or also by the volunteer fire brigade service, which I think could be funded by all the residents in Sri Lima by, for example, making a contribution of 10 ringgit per person. These amenities could actually be set up, but of course the other would be my concern for widening of the roads around this area for the purpose of accommodating the increase in traffic flow, and also more frequent bus services. Like on those days when I used to go to school, we used to hear of the yellow bus company plying the routes of Island Glades, Island Park, Bukit Gulugo. But nowadays the Rapid KL seems to ply only the main roads from Bayan Baru to through the Jalan Masjid Negeri to Komta. And those of us who do not have our own transport have to walk up from the inroads of Island Park, Island Glades to the main road. And this also causes further problems because women in particular become subject to all sorts of petty crimes and thefts and exposed to the dangers of becoming victim of snatch thefts when they walk to work, particularly in the morning, wee hours of the morning. And I see most of them walking around 6 to 6:30, 6 o'clock onwards in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning. And I live also close to the Island Park Secondary School, where I find a lot of students being dropped off early in the morning by the buses they travel in, who also find themselves exposed to this danger as well. So there is a lack of police presence around this area. I think we have to look into this, and of course other important matters like drainage, where the recent rains have shown that there could be a possible outbreak of floods as well in the Island Glades, Island Park areas, where almost all the drains around these areas are practically broken and in bad shape. That is another pressing need which has to be looked into immediately. I think there's another thing. I just went for my rounds around the Bukit Gulugo area, in particular behind the Sungai Gulugo, in the Sungai Gulugo area, behind the Indian temple there. I find a lot of Malay families living in squalor. I use the word squalor because they live in very poor conditions. They live in houses which are almost completely ruined. I think there are at least close to 20 to 30 families there living beyond poverty, below the poverty line, and the state will have to immediately look into the requirements of these families, like for example providing some form of social payment or allowance which is practiced in the European countries for these families to be able to sustain their daily expenses. They have been completely neglected, I would say, and I've taken photographs of these families as well, where they live in very poor conditions. So of course, so we want to get them into the mainstream of development as well, because we find that Bukit Gulugo has got, this Sri Lima constituency is made up of upper class and the middle class, as well as the people who are living below the poverty line. So we'll have to look into the true needs of the middle class people of as well as the people who live beyond the poverty line. So I will of course aspire to do my level best, not just make promises, come around once in 5 years and then visit the places and maybe point at some drains and all, but make sure that it is actually effectively looked into, and all problems faced by the residents of this area are actually looked into immediately. Of course, the upper class people, of course, will also be assured that their problems be looked into. We will also, I will also basically seek the assistance of the police to ensure that they are provided extra security. I will also ensure that, in fact, I have set up a service center right at my residence, so that we are not very far away. I live in Sri Lima, residents of Sri Delima are welcome to see me at any time. We have not mentioned any specific time for our service centers. We are open 24 hours. You are free to approach me at any time. And I also plan to, if possible, be involved in the Rukun Tetangga project. I think we should kickstart that particular Rukun Tetangga project again in every area, because that helps a lot in reducing the number of crimes being committed, especially at night. And of course, it basically further helps to integrate and bring together people of various races, people of various classes together to look into the needs of the community and to exist together. Okay? Thank you very much.